It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for The Last of Us on HBO. On this video, we're going to be taking a look at some pretty awesome behind the scenes photos and a lot of footage from filming that they were doing for the show in downtown Calgary, Canada. Now, what is definitely interesting is that when it comes to images of Joel and Ellie are some of the best images that we've seen in the time that they've been filming. So that is pretty amazing. Now, there's also some very interesting details that may give us some hints as far as what the story could be that they're filming, but we're going to dive into all of that when we return. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break it all down. Alright, as always, before we jump into this, smash that like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's just dive right into it. One thing I want to say, I've said this in every video, but they are filming The Last of Us in Calgary, Canada, which is the city that I live in. So I've been able to visit set a few times in the past and capture some pretty awesome behind the scenes photos, this time included. Although most of the footage and most of the high quality pictures that we're gonna take a look at today are pictures and footage that have been captured by other fans and posted online. I'll leave all of the links to my sources down below so you can go and check it out. And obviously, what we can definitely say right away looking at some of these pictures and footage that have been captured by fans is that they were captured by people living in buildings around the set, which is why they've been able to capture these high quality pictures and take footage like they've been able to do. Because being there, I can tell you it's impossible to take pictures and take any footage because there's security all around, there's crew all around, so you can't get away with taking pictures and footage when you're standing right there. But I did see both Pedro Pascal as Joel and Bella Ramsey as Ellie there filming, which was pretty cool. So with that said, let's dive right into it. Now, all of the pictures and footage we're going to look at in this video are pictures and footage from a set which we're calling the Utah Quarantine Zone Emergency Camp. I've done a few videos on that set already. You can check it out if you're interested. I have another video right after this with more behind the scenes photos before they started filming. So it's mainly just pictures of the set itself and not about the filming that they were doing. However, this particular picture is a picture from a different set. I just thought of including it here because it's got Pedro Pascal as Joel in it, so it kind of fit with what we're looking at in this video, so I decided to include it here. But obviously we see Pedro Pascal as Joel holding a shovel, not exactly sure what he's doing with the shovel, what he's burying or who he's burying, but this is definitely very, very interesting. The next picture I want to show you is actually this. This is the spot where they were actually filming. So that's the camera guy right there. This was maybe 15 minutes before they actually started filming. Obviously, they were doing multiple takes throughout the day. I got there late, so I wasn't there for the whole thing. So most of the footage that other fans were able to capture were footage from earlier takes that they did. But this just gives you an idea where they were standing when they were doing the actual filming. We're going to see a closer up image of what that angle looks like in just a little bit. But we have this other shot pointed towards the camp that they were filming inside of. Obviously, we see the cast and crew. I think that's Pedro Pascal, but I'm not quite sure. He was far away. And then we have another picture right here. This is actually the spot where Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey walked past a few times because this was one of the spots where they went to after each take. And then another picture right here, we can see smoke in the background. Obviously, we see the camp, the Utah National Guard trailer. We see a sign that says entrance, so I'm assuming that this is the entrance to the camp. This is actually the entrance that in one of the takes, both Joel and Ellie walked into, so that's pretty cool. But when it comes to the smoke, before the smoke started, there was some sort of a loud bang. So I'm assuming that they were doing a take where there was some sort of an explosion. So that is extremely interesting. We see another shot of the camp here. I think this is Bella Ramsey and her double. Could be wrong, but this was the shirt that she was wearing, so it could have been her. Judging by the fact that it's two people looking identical, it was probably her and her double. The next picture is another shot of that scene where there was smoke coming out. I do have a quick clip of this as well, which I'm going to show you later on. And then we have this other shot of the same area. Not too much else to say about this one. And then another one here. Obviously, all of these are pretty much the same, but these pictures were taken in the span of maybe 10 minutes. So they were doing a bunch of takes with something that has to do with a loud bang and some smoke in the background. And then we have this other shot which was taken at the very end. We see Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey as Joel and Ellie walking away. This was right before everyone started clapping and wrapping up for the day. Now they're going to be in Calgary filming until Friday. I don't know whether there's going to be any more filming in this particular location, but if I do get the chance, I will go back to see if there's going to be any other activity there, but I doubt it. It seemed like this might have been one of the last. Like I said, they're going to wrap up this Friday for good, at least when it comes to season 1. Like, they're going to be done filming season 1. And then we have another shot here of Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey as Joel and Ellie. Now we do see someone taking a picture of them. I'm assuming these are going to be behind the scenes photos that are going to be officially released at some point. So that's cool. The next picture we have is just of the set itself. We see a lot of vehicles with rust on them in the middle of the road. We did see all of these vehicles parked on the side of the road a few days before they started filming. So they've moved all of those in the middle of the street like I predicted. We do also see what I think is an ambulance right there, and obviously a lot of military trucks and jeeps and stuff like that. We will dive deeper into those types of pictures, like the pictures of the military equipment that's there and also the camp itself on a separate video. So if you're interested, stay tuned. I'll be doing a follow-up, which is probably not gonna be posted tonight. Together with this, it's gonna come out the next day, but stay tuned for that. Then we get into some of the best HD pictures of Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey as Joel and Ellie. This is pretty awesome. I mean, it's obviously, like I said, one of the best high quality pictures that we've seen of the two of them. And we've seen a few pretty high quality pictures in the past, but like I said, this definitely takes the top spot in terms of some of the best pictures. But as you can see, it's taken from high up. So I'm assuming these were taken by people living in the buildings around the set. Otherwise, it would have been impossible to capture these high quality pictures. I mean, it was difficult to take pictures with regular phones. This was probably taken with a pretty high quality camera. I'm pretty sure whoever took these, if they were actually standing there with all of the crew and the security, would have been kicked out right away. And then we have this pretty awesome shot. Obviously, we do see a sniper rifle in Joel's backpack, so that's pretty awesome. The attention to detail is phenomenal because you can see the way Ellie is dressed, and also Joel, for the most part, is identical to how they looked in the game. So that's pretty cool. We have this pretty cool picture of Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal as Joel and Ellie. They're just sitting there. They're probably tired. They've been working all day. So they're exhausted, but at the same time, it's cool because it gives us a good or a fairly good idea what the two of them are going to look like as Joel and Ellie. And it captures to an extent the bond between them. That's probably going to translate in the show. Next picture is a better quality picture of the same spot and the same thing. And then we have another one here. This is from a scene where they actually walk into the camp, the Utah quarantine camp. There's some footage of that, which we're going to go through in just a little bit. And then another shot right here. Now we do see the wheelchair in the background that matches with some of the behind the scenes photos that we've been looking at in the past. We see another picture of Pedro Pascal as Joel here. Now let's move on to some of the footage that have been captured by fans who were pretty high up so they could capture these pretty amazing footage. First one is this one right here. We can see the camp, and then when they zoom in, we see Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey as Joel and Ellie. They're filming some sort of a scene. This is obviously not the two of them just talking. This is a scene that they're doing, so that's pretty cool. And then we see another one here. This is the scene that I was talking about, where the two of them walk into the camp, so that's pretty cool. I was actually there during one of the takes for this particular scene, so it was pretty cool seeing the actual scene take place. I didn't capture any footage or anything. Again, why would I need to? Because we already have this pretty amazing footage right here. But other than that, not much to say. I mean, we can't really hear what they're saying. It looks like they're talking as they're walking through the camp, so that's pretty cool. I'm definitely intrigued to see what they're gonna show as far as what happened to the camp. Like, is it just gonna be us seeing the aftermath, or are we gonna see what led to what happened and seeing the aftermath afterwards with Joel and Ellie? But with that, I am definitely intrigued to see what they're gonna do that's unique, or not unique, but that's original to the TV adaptation. I hope that they don't just translate exactly the game material, because that would be boring. I hope that they give it their own twist. And why I say that is because the quarantine camp is directly from the game. It's not exactly like the game. Like, it wasn't as detailed in the game or anything like that. It was like a maybe 10-minute scene in the game. It looks like they're expanding it in the TV adaptation, so that's pretty cool. The next would be better to look at with the sound on, so I'm gonna turn the sound on, and then let's hear it, and then I'm gonna talk about it. So as you see, Joel and Ellie are talking. They're looking at something, maybe a map, and then something drops. Joel thinks that it's some sort of a grenade or something, and then he shields Ellie from the blast, which is pretty cool. Now, this could be an actual grenade that they add in post-production, but I doubt it. I think it was just something that dropped and, it scared them. Joel was there to protect her, so that's pretty awesome. Again, that goes back to the bond between them that we saw a lot of in the game. We see another angle of the same thing. And then we have this pretty awesome footage. Now, this is not an actual scene. It's just Pedro Pascal goofing around on set when they're taking a break. So he's spinning the gun. Now, it looks like someone is giving him directions. So maybe this is something that we're gonna actually see on the show itself, which would be pretty cool to see him do that. But that's badass. I mean, that's all I can say. Now they're just talking about that guy's tattoo. I don't know what they're talking about, but Pedro Pascal looked very interested in the guy's tattoo. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's the footage. We see the sniper rifle that I mentioned earlier, and then we have another scene of him spinning the gun. Now, I saw him doing the same thing when I was there on a different take, so I don't know if that's an actual thing that he's gonna do or if he's just doing it for fun. It makes sense if he's doing it for fun, but at the same time, he might be practicing. Like, he might be practicing because he's gonna do it in an actual scene. So that'll be cool if it actually happens. And then we see the two of them, Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal, talking. Not much to say. And then we have another footage right here. Not much to say about this one either. It's just the two of them, and they're just waiting around, I think. They're not filming anything. They're just waiting. But we do see a lot of what seems to be dust or something like that around. That could be potentially something that's going to be in the actual show, or it might be something that is just there. But it could be something that they put there on purpose to give it the same effect as what we saw in the game, particularly when it comes to scenes where they put on their masks because of the cordyceps and the things that are just flying around. I don't know the actual term for it, but you know what I mean. With that said, let's look at some of the footage that I captured myself. This is a shot of the camp. Not much to say. It just shows you the camp that they were filming at. Not much to it. This is obviously the same area where we saw smoke in some of the pictures that we looked at. So we see that here. You see the smoke all the way in the background. Now, what is definitely very interesting is that they spent a lot of time there. I mean, it looks like whatever scene that they're filming is gonna take at least half of the episode. So that is extremely cool and interesting. Now, the other thing I do want to say is that it looks like there were some potential runners there. We couldn't really see anything, but they were definitely doing something that they didn't want us to see all the way in the back. So that's extremely interesting. Another footage of the same thing. We do see a lot more of the smoke here. So like I said, it seems like there was some sort of explosion that happened leading to all of that smoke. And this is obviously after Joel and Ellie entered the camp. So they might have been attacked or something to that effect. That might even go back to the thing that we looked at with the grenade. That could have been a real grenade, and that could have been what led to the explosion, hence why we see all this smoke. And then this final footage right here, not much more to add. I've pretty much talked about everything I wanted to talk about, but this is pretty much the area. We do see Bella Ramsey right there. She was walking up. That's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.